Your name is?
Don.
Don. I have only one request to make to you. To use the word now, if possible, with every sentence.
Like, now I feel my heart beating.
Yeah.
And now I wonder why I'm sitting here. Why did I wish to fill the void? Now I'm wondering, what is there to work with?
Yeah. Let me interrupt you here and switch back to Freud and his psychoanalysis. Freud said, a person who's free from guilt feelings and anxiety is healthy. My own theory about anxiety and guilt are those. Guilt, as I hope to show in its context, is nothing but unexpressed resentment. And anxiety is nothing but the gap between the now and the later. As soon you leave the secure basis of the now and jump into the future, you experience anxiety, or in this case, stage fright. You get excited, the heart begins to race, and so on and so on, all the symptoms of stage fright. The fact that we very often don't notice our chronic anxiety is simply that we fill the gap of the now and later with insurance policies, rigid character formations, daydreams, and so on. If we reduce the later to the now, the anxiety is bound to collapse. So, let's do this now. Close your eyes and tell us in detail, what do you experience now?
Well, physically I feel the warmth of one hand and another. I feel, now I feel tension throughout my body,
Can you
especially up here.
Fine. Can you enter this tension?
It's as if I'm being stretched this way, across my shoulder.
Can you do this to me?
Oh.
Stretch me.
It's as if I'm being pulled out this way.
More. Do it as much as you need to do. Okay, sit up.
Something like that. Now it's gone away.
If you learn to do unto others what you're doing unto yourself, you stop repressing yourself and preventing yourself from what you've got to do. I don't understand yet his need to stretch me. But to talk about it would be, and here I have to shock you, because I have to introduce one of the technical terms in Gestalt therapy, which is mind-fucking. The very moment we just play these intellectual games, like they do usually in group therapy, they throw opinion on each other. explanations. People interpret each other. So nothing happens except these intellectual word games. So what do you experience now, Tom?
My own mind fucking. Explaining to myself why I would want to stretch you.
Okay, let's introduce the empty chair. Ask Don this question.
Don, why do you want to stretch yourself or another person?
Now, change seats. And this is the decisive phrase, start to write your script now between the two opponents.
Well, Don, you're not good enough the way you are, so you've got to stretch. Yeah, that's quite possible. One never knows what one's potentials are unless one does stretch. I agree. I should stretch. Yes. You seem to have got the message. And all you have to do now is do something about it. Yeah, I do try to do something about it sometimes. I'm constantly aware that I am supposed to do something about it. I don't always do something about it. Once in a while.
Yeah. We make now the first acquaintance with one of the most frequent splits in the human personality. That is the top dog underdog split. The top dog, known in psychoanalysis as the superego or the conscience. Unfortunately, Freud left out the underdog. And he did not realize that usually the underdog wins in the conflict between top dog and underdog. I give you the frequent characteristics of both. The top dog is righteous, sometimes right, but always righteous. He takes it for granted that this top dog that tells him he should stretch and improve, that the top dog is correct. The top dog always says you should. And the top dog threatens, if not then. However, the top dog is pretty straightforward. Now the underdog works with a different method. The underdog says, yeah, or I promise, or I agree with you, or manjana. If I only could. So the underdog is a very good frustrator. And then the top dog, of course, don't let it get away with it. It increases the use of the rod. And so the self-torture game or self-improvement game, whatever you want to call it, goes on year in, year out, and year in, year out, and nothing ever happens. Right?
Not quite, but the top dog keeps pushing.
Yeah.
And he gets...
Say this to the top dog.
Yeah, you keep pushing, and sometimes I give you something. I often feel it isn't adequate enough for doesn't quite meet your demands.
Mm-hmm. So be the top dog and demand. Put in your demands.
You should get much more organized, and you could be far more intelligent about how you go about things than you are right now.
Okay,
and,
now, again, we do unto others what we're doing unto yourself. Say the same sentence to these people here. You should get better organized.
Yeah, Bill, if you want to improve, you should get much better organized and make much more use of your time and energy. And you should get much more organized and be more intelligent about how you go about things. And you go a lot further. Gail, you can do the same.
How do you feel in that role when you say this to others and not to yourself?
I feel that they could tell me to go to hell.
Okay, tell him to go to hell. You keep on nagging and then each one tells you to go to hell.
Go to hell.
Haven't I told you often that you should work harder?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you have.
And can't you work harder? Can't you organize yourself better?
I don't want to, thank you, on that book.
How about you, Bill? I mean, you could go much further if you organized yourself better. You could be a wealthy man now. It's a fantastically successful business if you organized yourself and worked harder with your talents.
Okay, how do you feel now?
I feel like a very self-righteous.
How's your stage fright?
Well, it's sort of gone away.
Yeah. But this being self-righteous is part of your life script. And so you need a lot of people you can be self-righteous with.